محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear interns, today our theme is tourism in AJK, hopes and hurdles. I am profusely elated to take an opportunity to introduce our special guest of the day, Mrs. Mithat Shehzad. She is serving as Secretary Tourism in AJK. As far as her education is concerned, she is mastered in economics from Punjab University and MPhil in IA from NDU Islamabad. She has wide interaction with international organizations and institutes. She has also remained the director of NATO and director PTDC. She has served as Secretary, President and Secretary Information and IT. She has also affiliation with NDU Islamabad. On the behalf of Kashmir Policy Research Institute, I thank her for providing her gracious presence to join us today. Please give your big hand for her. We also have Director, Kashmir Policy Research Institute, Dr. Raja Muhammad Sajjad Khan with us. We welcome you, sir. Now I'd like to invite Director Capri Raja Muhammad Sajjad Khan for the introductory remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Respected Madam Mithat Shehzad, Secretary Tourism, Azad Jammu Kashmir, dear interns, بہت شکریہ میڈم آپ کا، آپ یہاں پر تشریف لائی. اور جب بھی کشمیر پالیسی ریسرچ انسٹیٹیوٹ نے کوئی بھی ایکٹیویٹی کی اور آپ سے ریکویسٹ کی تو آپ نے ہمیشہ اس ریکویسٹ کو قبول کیا. اور ہمارے لیے یہ اعزاز ہے کہ آپ آزاد کشمیر میں پہلی خاتون سیکرٹری ہیں، آزاد کشمیر میں واحد خاتون سیکرٹری ہیں جو گریڈ 21 میں ہیں. آپ آزاد کشمیر سے واحد سول سروسز کی آفیسر ہیں جنہوں نے GBU میں بھی سرو کیا اور کشمیر افیئرز میں بھی سرو کیا. اور ہمارے لیے یہ بھی اعزاز ہے کہ آپ نیشنل ڈیفنس یونیورسٹی کی فیکلٹی میں بھی آپ نے سرو کیا آزاد کشمیر سے. تو آپ کا ایک تعلیمی علمی بیک گراؤنڈ بھی ہے، ایڈمنسٹریٹو بیک گراؤنڈ بھی ہے. اور آپ جن محکمہ جات میں آپ نے سرو کیا، اپنی انفارمیشن کو نئی شکل دی جب آپ سیکرٹری انفارمیشن تھی. پھر آپ نے اس سے پہلے آپ پہلے بھی ٹورزم میں تھی. اور آج جو ٹورزم کی ڈیولپمنٹ کو جب ہم دیکھتے ہیں جتنا ڈیولپ ہوا اس میں زیادہ اس کا کریڈٹ آپ کو جاتا ہے. انفارمیشن ٹیکنالوجی کو یہاں صرف اسکولوں میں کچھ کمپیوٹر لیبس تک وہ IT کا ڈپارٹمنٹ محدود تھا. آپ نے اس کے اسکوپ کو ایکسٹینڈ کیا اور اس کا آج انفارمیشن IT جو ہے وہ تقریباً سارے ڈپارٹمنٹس میں جو IT کا سسٹم ہے وہ انٹروڈیوس ہو رہا ہے. ہمارے لیے خوش قسمتی ہے کہ آپ یہاں پہ موجود ہوں گی. یہ آپ ٹورزم پہ بھی بات کریں گی اور ٹورزم کے علاوہ بھی یہاں اگر آپ میڈم سے کشمیر کے حوالے سے میڈم کا ریسرچ آرٹیکلز بھی ہیں کشمیر کنفلکٹ کے ریلیٹڈ بھی. اور صرف ٹورزم ہی تک محدود نہیں ہے، آپ کسی بھی حوالہ سے بالخصوص جو ہماری یوتھ ہے اس میں اگر کوئی رہنمائی آپ کو سول سروسز میں کسی طرح کی چاہیے اس کے لیے بھی آپ میڈم سے آپ کوشچن کر سکتے ہیں. تو تھینک یو سو مچ میڈم. میں اسی کے ساتھ اجازت چاہوں.
Thank you so much. As far as this session is concerned, we would take a break for 20 minutes at 11:30 and then after that we will further proceed the session. Now without any delay, I request Mrs. Midgat Shehzad to please come on the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. Being Secretary Tourism, I was asked to talk about tourism potential in AJK, but Sajjad Sahib was very much right that you can ask any type of question to me. To start with the tourism presentation. Next. This would be my sequence of presentation. Potential available facilities, opportunities, and what mechanism they are giving to the tourism sector and its issues in Bengal. So this is a quotation from Gloria, who was World Trade Tourism Council's CEO, that inclusive growth and ensuring a future with quality jobs are the concerns of the governments everywhere. Travel and tourism, which already supports 1 in every 10 jobs on the planet, is a dynamic engine of employment opportunity. So tourism is not only a recreational tourism sector, but it is an industry for the global arena. Next. If you see what tourism is doing in Pakistan and what potential Pakistan is having in tourism, Pakistan is one of the top 25 tourist destinations of the globe. From mangroves in the south to the 5,000 years old cities of the Indus Valley civilization, a geographically and ethnically diverse country has much to offer, from natural beauty, historical heritage to the cultural diversity. You must be knowing that Pakistan is blessed with a lot of versatile type of topography, beaches, mountains, rivers, different weathers, everywhere is in Pakistan. So Pakistan is very much blessed with a lot of potential of tourism. But next, its share in international tourist traffic is only 0.09%. That is very meager share to the global industry of tourism. So, and its share in South Asia is 8.70. Its own share in its GDP is only 3%, which can be enhanced as per its potential to at least 6 to 9%. But Pakistan's ranking on travel and tourism indexes, that is why its ranking is very low in travel and tourism index of the world. Out of 133, it is at 113 position. So we are speaking the potential of Pakistan and coming to the potential of AJK or tourism in AJK. If you see the overall traffic to AJK of tourists, you can see the picture of last about 1 decade. That tourists in AJK is influxed with at least average 1.2-1.3 million every year. Although it was lower during 2019, 20 and 21 because of COVID, but now it is again enhancing. This year it will cross, I think, 1.6, 1.7 million. Next. If you see the profile of AJK, it is mostly rural area, 80% rural, 20% urban. And its population, its road infrastructure, forest land, and total area, you can see from this slide that it has very dense population of forest as well. Plus road infrastructure is very good, electricity provision is very good. A lot of rankings, a lot of indicators show that it is ranked higher than national rankings. But in employment opportunities, it is very low, because if we see that national ranking of employment opportunities is unemployment is 10%, but in AJK it is about 14 to 20%. So unemployment is the main cause of concern for us in AJK, and tourism is one of the backbone of the economy of AJK. So with the help of tourism and IT, we can create a lot of opportunities for employment. So coming to the tourism policy, AJK government has chalked out and issued its first ever tourism policy in 2019, and its mission and visions were chalked out like this: that best tourist destination through sustainable tourism development and inclusive growth. This was the vision of government of AJK, to take the AJK as the best tourist destination in the globe. And out of this vision, we have created a mission, that is the vision of enabling environment and best facilitation for tourists, creating investment opportunities for private investors, in harmony with the environmental, cultural and social values while keeping in view the empathy to the communities. So three stakeholders were very important in our mission and vision. These are communities, private sector and tourists. So this our overall policy of tourism revolves around these three stakeholders. Out of this mission and vision, we have created talked of these policy objectives so that we can go ahead with the targeted approach that how we can achieve these visions and missions with the help of these objectives. So branding, standardization, investment opportunities, comprehensive media, heritage conservation, coordination with art departments, diversification of tourist destinations and human resource development. These are our main objectives of policy so that we can conclude our policy with a logical ending that how can we achieve the tourism potential of AGK. If you see that how many types of tourism is lying in the AGK, how many aspects of tourism we are having in AGK, you can see that from ecotourism to historical to a lot of other aspects, we have a lot of opportunities for these types of tourism. We don't have only one type of tourism that is digital, but we have a lot of other types. For example, from ecotourism, we have waterfalls, villages, national parks, lakes, streams. You can see the numbers in front of everything that how much blessed with all these features of ecotourism we have. Then historical tourism, you must be knowing that Kashmir is the hub of civilizations. It has a lot of civilizations in its land, from Hinduism to Buddhism to Sikhism, then Islam, then a lot of other rulers ruled the Kashmir continent, and so Kashmir has a lot of civilizations in it, and the remains of these civilizations are very much rich in this valley. So in AGK we do have a lot of remains of these civilizations. Like we have about 5,000 plus mosques, which shows that how much Islam was in Kashmir, then forts, then temples and gurdwaras, a lot of heritage sites to offer to the tourists as well. Because if we see the global trend of tourism, about 40% of tourists travel to see the heritage sites. So 40% tourists can be caught in AGK as well because of these heritage sites in AGK. Then scenic tourism, we have valleys, waterfall. Next. Religious tourism, we have, as you have seen that we have, how many we have mosques and temples and forts and everything. So with the help of temples, gurdwaras and mosques, even with the help of these three remains, we can create a lot of tourists of Hindus and Sikhs and Buddhism and Islam. And heritage tourism is cultural tourism, heritage and historical heritage. Next. Apart from all the tangible things lying in the AGK, we have a lot of opportunities for this type of tourism, that is adventure tourism, because if tourist comes in an area and we don't engage that tourist in that area, then he might be bored or he might not come again. So if we create adventure tourism as well, tourists can be engaged with these type of activities. So we have all types of opportunities in adventure tourism, from land to water to forest, everything to air. We have paragliding opportunity, we have whitewater rafting opportunity, trekking and hiking and everything. Even heli tourism, we are thinking about this, that heli tourism should be introduced in AGK as well, so that heli can come from Islamabad, Lahore or Karachi, and it can land in AGK in any destination, and it can provide a good opportunity to the tourist, at least the high revenue tourists. Commercial tourism, we have medicinal plants, we have value chains of tourism. For example, if we start tourism in any sector, in any area of AGK, not only the accommodation, not only the transportation, but a lot of other businesses spur up over there, and because of tourism, we can create a lot of small entrepreneurs over there. So income generation of local people, that is inclusive growth of that area, can be achieved with the help of this commercial tourism. Now apart from these potentials of AGK, what we have with us to offer to the private investor and to the tourist. We have 30 tourist lodges, 90 rest areas, 5 information centers, and 5 tourist welcome booths. Apart from these building entities or properties of tourism, we do have a land bank with us, so that once a tourism and investor is coming to AJK for investment, we should offer him a land which is in our own hands, in our own custody. That is, they are called the land bank of tourism, and we have created about 500 canal of land bank so far, and we are continuously creating this land bank so that we can offer to the private investor. Apart from public sector infrastructure, we have private sector infrastructure as well. For example, 700 plus tourist guest houses are in the private sector, 4 tent villages and 500 tourist vehicles are flying in the whole of AJK for the tourism purposes. Next. So I was talking about the land bank. Now you can see that where we have created the land bank, and the details of this land bank is, for example, in Nipur Division we have 4 canal 1 and 27 for the other land piece. Then in Poonch Division, then next. Muzaffarabad Division in Lipa, in Neelam. You can see how big land areas are with us, which can be offered to the private investor who can build a resort over there, a park over there, or anything he like for the tourism purposes. These are some sites of for the tourism as well. Next. So where our private investor can invest, we have charted out different areas of investment as well in our legislation. A few of them are like this: the 3-star facilities are resorts, luxury tourist transport, cultural traditional products, medicinal plants, local cuisine, and heavy service. Investor can invest in all these areas. Next. How an investor can invest in tourism sector? This is the mechanism. We have also did a legislation during 2019. 2019 was a landmark year for tourism sector in AJK because we have issued our tourism policy in 2019. We have charted out this legislation for tourism investment purposes, and 2019 was declared as tourism year in AJK. So during 2019, a lot of development took over in 2019. And we have AJK Tourism Promotion Act 2019. Out of this act, we have created a State Tourism Executive Committee, which decides every policy decision about the tourism. And processing period is only 40 days, and mode of investment is unsolicited proposals. It can be given by private investor. We can lease out our infrastructure and lease out our land from the land bank. So far, what we have done, and this is the only the glimpse or summary of those achievements. We have done a lot of other things as well, but main things are that AJK Tourism Promotion Act 2019 was issued, AJK Tourism Policy was issued, 2019 was declared as tourism year, AJK Tourism Hotels, Travel Agencies and Tourist Guides Acts were adopted, and regulatory board was constituted, and DMOs at the tourist destination. This is very unique feature of our policy, that destination management organizations, DMOs called destination management organizations. These are actually the localized type of functional unit of tourism, which comprises of 3 main civil society members from that area, and 1 tourism department officer and 1 administrative department, like assistant commissioner type officer. And out of these 5 memberships, we create a DMO over that area so that they can look after that destination at their own, and local and with the help of ground realities they can suggest different improvements in that area, and they can safeguard the area for the tourism purposes as well. We have raised one of our group of police officers as tourism police, first ever in Pakistan. Our tourism police was the first ever in Pakistan. After that, tourism police in AJK, KPK and Punjab also followed us. So this was our great achievement during that period. And we have done a lot of MOUs with universities and different tourism organizations so that we can improve things things with the help of these organizations. And tourism facilitation hotline 1422 with the number 1422 is also functional in AJK, and you can call this number anywhere, from anywhere to help for the tourists and tourism purposes. Next. If you see the development sector, what we are doing in the development of tourism with the help of our own annual development program or with the help of our own development money in AJK. Our ongoing projects are one iconic project of Red Fort. I don't know Sajjad Sahab has taken you people to Red Fort or not, but I recommend to visit this iconic project. It is being renovated with the help of Walled City Lahore Authority, and it will be an iconic project of AJK once it is completed. Then establishment of Kashmir Heritage Museum. There was no museum in AJK before that. Now we have established one in Mirpur, and the other is in the offing in Muzaffarabad as well. You must visit the Mirpur Museum after, I think, a month. We will be inaugurating that museum, and that will be a good addition to the tourism purpose, for the tourism purpose in AJK. And we, first ever, we have deputed some people from universities of Hazara and Qaid-e-Azam and AJK University to map our heritage sites, and not only mapping of those sites but also technical reports about these sites, that how old are these sites and to which ism these sites are belonged, and what is the condition of these sites and how these can be renovated. So this is a full-fledged, very comprehensive report done by the professors of universities. So it is very great achievement in the history of AJK Tourism Department, because archaeology was totally missing from this department. Now we have completed this survey of archaeological sites as well. We have introduced another innovative type of project in AJK, that beautification of tourist sites. We can see a lot of other sites which are not developed so far. So we have brought this project to introduce new sites to the tourists, so that diversification of tourism and tourist sites can be done with the help of this project, because this is our main objective when I was discussing about the objective of the policy. Capacity building of our department is another problem with us, so we have especially taken a project of this, so that trainings and other capacity building features can be done in our own department, so that we can perform well and better. And publicity, marketing or publicity was a main issue in tourism department. So now we have created a project in our department to market our tourism sector in not only at national level but international level. These are some new projects: restoration of 4 more archaeological sites apart from Red Fort, and development of new tourist sites in AJK, establishment of Kashmir Heritage Museum at Muzaffarabad, because this is the new project we have done with Mirpur Museum. Now Muzaffarabad Museum will be started. Survey and visibility of archaeological assets is continuous process, and reconstruction repair of tourist lodges. Some lodges, some rest houses of our own department are in dilapidated conditions. So we have decided that in phases we should start to reconstruct or renovate these lodges and these rest houses as well. Once the Red Fort renovation completed, we have already planned a cafe and handicraft bazaar along with that fort. There is a land, 7-acre land, which we have about snatched from the Neelam Hotel people, and now it is with us. It is fenced and it is gated as well. So once the project of renovation of that fort completed, we will construct a cafe and handicraft bazaar over there. Then some other projects of tourism department. Next. Of course, there are a lot of other issues which are lying with us and which are being confronted by the tourism department, like land issues. Once we have lands, with us and we want to offer to the private sector, even then people comes in and they say that this land is belong to those people just for the sake of ownership and fake ownership, you know. And this is the main problem of AJK, that even the land is with the government, even then when we give this land to the private sector, there must be some difficulties. Diversification of tourist destination. You must have heard that only Neelam Valley or Rauda or Punch Valley, these two valleys are being visited by the tourists maximum. So we have a lot of other spots in south, in Kotli, Nakyal, everywhere, but people don't know about those destinations. So diversification is a main issue for us, because many times we have carrying capacity problem as well, because when 1 million people influx in Neelam Valley and we don't have enough accommodation or we don't have enough road infrastructure, so that becomes a problem for us. So we should diversify our destination. That is our problem as well. Being the role of private sector. Private sector is not that much in AJK, because if you see the GB, there are a lot of huge resorts over there, because private sector is more inclined to invest in GB rather than in AJK. So this is an issue with us, but we are confronting with this issue, and inshallah it will be over. Insufficient funds and skilled HR and dilapidated heritage sites are very much neglected in AJK, so this is an issue for us. But now we have started to confront with this issue as well. So travel brings power and love back into your life. You must travel to different destinations. Thank you so much. Now house is open. You can ask any question.
Okay, Rohan, go ahead.
आपने बात की कि रिसोर्सेज के अंदर जो है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात की थी, और उसके बाद जो है एनवायरनमेंट की बात की। मैम हम यहाँ से थोड़ा जो है चले से पीछे जाएँ तो वहाँ पर जो है लोग जो लोकल हैं वो जो है ऊपर जाते हैं, वहाँ पर जाकर जो दरख्त वगैरह हैं उनको काटते हैं, उनको वहीं छोड़ के तो बाद में वापस आ जाते हैं। इससे ये होता है कि एनवायरनमेंट में जो है टेम्परेचर चेंज हो रहा है बहुत ज़्यादा, जिससे गर्मी हो रही है और वहाँ पर जाना मुश्किल हो जाए। तो मैम आपने कौन सी पॉलिसी बनाना चाह रहे हैं कि जिसमें जो लोकल है उनको जो है इसके बारे में जो आगाह किया जाए कि इससे जो है वो पॉलिसी जो बेहतर हो सके, टूरिज्म जो है ज़्यादा हो सके, ताकि लोकल जो भी लोग जैसे हम भी होंगे वहाँ जा सकते हैं, या इंटरनेशनल जो है वो भी वहाँ।
एक्चुअली टूरिज्म का एक ये प्रॉब्लम भी इशू मुझे ये भी दिखाना चाहिए था कि टूरिज्म की वजह से जो एनवायरनमेंट पे इम्पैक्ट होता है। अगर आप सस्टेनेबल टूरिज्म या इको टूरिज्म को फोकस नहीं करेंगे तो इन्वायरमेंटली डिग्रेडेशन बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगी। और दूसरी बात जो होती है कि मैंने एक ऑब्जेक्टिव बताया था इंटीग्रेशन अमंग डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स। 14 डिपार्टमेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो टूरिज्म डिपार्टमेंट का पार्ट एंड पार्सल उसको कॉम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं। नंबर 1 फॉरेस्ट, नंबर 2 एग्रीकल्चर, नंबर 3 एजुकेशन और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तो है ही। इन सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स का काम एक ही है, वो टूरिज्म की प्रमोशन की कैसे एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं। फॉरेस्ट होगा तो हमारा टूरिज्म होगा, हमारा तो नेचुरल ब्यूटी ही हमारा एसेट है सबसे बड़ा। अगर उसको हम खत्म कर देंगे तो टूरिस्ट भी नहीं आएगा। तो जब फॉरेस्ट नहीं होगा तो रिवर भी कम होगा, रिवर में जब गन डालेंगे तो और कम होगा, रिवर भी